So over Easter 2025, I went on tour with Moteh Parrott and co. And I made a little tour diary, a mixture of videos and photographs. So here we go. So the first gig was in Stratherrick, which is about an hour from Inverness, near to where Moteh grew up. And this is the hall that we were playing that night. We had a lot of lights. We had a nice light rig and a nice sound rig set up. There was nothing in the hall when we got there, so we enlisted a few people that we know, Callum Martin in particular, to do the sound, and you got someone in to do lights as well. That's Spock, Blair's dog, lovely dog. There's Callum, and lighting engineer, whose name I can't remember, I'm sorry. We had Nicky Murray supporting us that evening. There he is with his fiddle. He joined us on stage for one of the tracks and also did his own solo set. And the stage looked good that night. Little backstage action there. And it was decent turnout. You know, it was quite a rural location, but there's a lot of people came out to see us that night. And there's Nicky on stage. Here's us playing a bit of a song. It's a song for the insects. And then we packed up and we got ready for our next gig upstairs in Inverness. So this is about 100 capacity venue. That's the guy that's running it. High Street. If you don't know High Street, check them out. A couple of my students are in that band. And then there's my kit for the gig. Lovely Bosphorus cymbals. Blair's got a couple of nice basses. Kath's got a lovely cello, doubles up as a wine rack. And there's the back of Moteh's head. Quite a nice stage. It's quite small though, but the sound is good. Another bit of Song for the Insects. Silent trees, the rocks are vibrant should mean everything to us. And then the following weekend, I think it was, we had to drive over to Lochaline, which involved one ferry to Lochaline, and then a nice drive through some of the countryside there. We didn't drive that fast, don't worry. And then we got to where we were staying, which is a relative of Moteh's. This is where we're staying for tonight's gig. Horrible. It's pretty amazing. The weather was really nice. If you remember back in Easter, the weather was gorgeous for most of it. I think we had one day where it was a bit wet and windy, but the rest of the time it was very nice. And we got to hang out in this house before we headed, before the Lochaline gig. This is the venue for Lochaline.
We only have one monitor tonight.
Callum bought some more in-ear things.
Oh, of course.
Moteh forgot about the in-ears. And this is the venue for that night. Again, quite a rural community. That's Martin. He was filming a lot of the tour. The stage wasn't as glamorous, but it was a stage. And it was a very good turnout again. We had a lot of people come to that show. There's Martin again, being Martin. Yeah, a good turnout. The bunting above there is actually signed by lots of people and lots of events that they have in that hall. So it was quite a nice touch actually. There's just a lot of memories in that bunting. And then afterwards we went back to the house, had a nice fire, had some nice wine, and just relaxed before we had to head on to our show the following day, which was in Mull. Again, we had to get another boat over to Mull. If you haven't been to Mull, it's absolutely lovely. You should definitely give that a go if you can. Some vlogging going on there. Some of Rusty's ears flying in the wind. And then all packed in like sardines for getting over. So this is Mull. This is Tobermoray, also known as Balamory. If you know the TV show, that's where it's filmed. Good poster outside the venue. We played at Tobar, this is the inside of Tobar when we arrived.
What? Be nice to find
That's Blair being Blair, talking about our biggest fan, I think he was. I think this is just sound check. It was actually quite a nice size of stage. I started setting up, rather than in the middle, started setting up on the edge. And then we had some beers. And there was a guy that told me I was too loud in a very rude way. And he was wrong. Drums aren't loud at all. There's some flying ears again. We had a bit of a day off here just to hang around Mull and just to explore a bit. So we went to a nice beach. The car hit 100,000 miles. So that was a moment. And then we had to get the ferry back over to Oban. We actually had a few days to just chill out in between the Mull gig and our next couple of shows. Most of our shows were kind of Friday, Saturday, so we had some time in between. And we checked out some big trees on our way, and we stayed. Where did we stay? I can't remember where we stayed. It was nice though. Had a barbecue. Took pictures of myself in a toilet. And then some cows escaped. There was about 30 cows just walking in the road. As we headed to Glasgow, nipped into Drummers Only, bought a bass drum beater, and then it was on to the Pint, which is a really nice venue. I really liked playing here. The staff were really good. So we had an in-house sound lady, and yeah, she was really good at the back corner rather than the middle of the stage, which I think works well for the whole band. And we had a very lovely pizza. Would thoroughly recommend the Pint in Glasgow. And then the next day, it was on to Leith Depot in Edinburgh. We're in the venue. I'm very tired. I'm very tired. We've got to fit a 5-piece band onto there, but we can't block that door. And that's a toilet. I was actually quite ill by this point of the tour. I think I was losing my mind. I was overtired. I think Rusty was overtired as well. But it was a really good gig.
Tiny thing, these tiny beings, these tiny little happenings. Our future rests upon their wings. Thank you so much. We're having massive rounds for the bands. We're all really unwell at the moment. And yeah, we got through it. Thank you so much. Cheers.
And that's the tour. So 6 shows over 3 weekends, I think it was. And yeah, really good time. And we have played shows since. But just haven't got around to sorting out all the footage that was taken over that trip. But yeah, very enjoyable. If you haven't heard the album yet, you can find it in the usual places. It's Moteh Parrott, and the album is called The Stones Are Merely Sleeping. Thank you.